Who is David really? When this story first dropped, people were quick to say, it's always those anime emo boys. They're the ones who do stuff like this. But that's way too simple. Yeah, he fits the aesthetic, dark, quiet, artistic. But the psychology behind him is different. His story isn't about fantasy or rebellion. It's about control, guilt, and growing up isolated. Here's a deeper look into who David really is and the psychology behind the person everyone thinks they already understand. Here's a complete psychological and behavioral analysis of the singer David. Most people see a soft-spoken artist with a dreamy voice and haunting visual, but behind that image is a story about control, religion, and isolation. He started homeschooling around 13, same age he was finally allowed to listen to music that wasn't gospel. Until then, everything in his life revolved around faith. What he watched, what he listened to, even how he thought. When homeschooling began, that world became smaller. He went from being surrounded by classmates to spending 9 hours a day alone at a computer. He described those first 2 years as hell. The combination of isolation and control pushed him inward, where imagination became his only outlet. 13 became the turning point, the moment he realized how limited his world had been. He was exposed to new sounds, new ideas, and new worlds. It wasn't liberation, it was exposure. The door cracked open and curiosity slipped through. That's why 13 is the year everything split. The obedient boy and the creative boy began fighting for space inside of him. And strangely, 13 is also the same age that Miss Rivas started disappearing into Hollywood. 2 lives moving in different directions, one chasing art and the other caught in fame's darker side, but both losing innocence at the same time. 13 wasn't freedom, it was the fracture, the start of everything that would come after. The influence of Japanese culture. Anime didn't just entertain him. It became his blueprint for identity. In Japanese culture, men can be soft and emotional, yet still powerful. That idea hit him deeply. Anime gave him a world where feelings weren't weakness. It taught him that beauty and strength could live in the same body. That's why his visuals mix dark and light. Innocence one moment, blood the next. He's not imitating anime, he's living the message it gave him. You can be gentle and dangerous at the same time. His art looks spiritual for a reason, because it is. He was raised to believe everything outside religion was sin. So when he started creating freely, guilt followed him like a shadow. Songs sound like confessions. His videos feel like sermons that end in chaos. The white outfits, the blood, they're not just for show. They're how he speaks to God without using words. Every performance is him trying to make peace with the guilt of being human. He's not mocking religion, he's haunted by it. Mascara and bracelets. Everything about his look means something. Mascara softens his face and makes him look fragile, mysterious, and safe. The bracelets and jewelry are grounding, like charms that protect him from chaos. Together, they're armor, a way to show emotion while staying in control. He doesn't wear these things for attention, he wears them to express what he can't say. I can be gentle and still powerful. Let's talk about the goofy mask. The silliness, the jokes, the random humor. That's not immaturity, that's protection. When someone grows up walking on eggshells, humor becomes a defense mechanism. It keeps tension away and it keeps people from asking hard questions. That's what you see when he's being goofy, not just a funny side, but a survival skill. A way to keep peace, to make others comfortable and hide the storm underneath. Now, people who grew up isolated often crave innocence, not because of attraction, but because it feels safe. Innocence reminds them of who they used to be before guilt and pressure took over. It's something pure, something that doesn't judge. Being around that kind of energy helps them breathe. That's why they're drawn to people who feel untouched by the world. It's not always about romance, it's about emotional safety. It's about finding peace in a type of person who doesn't demand too much. Here's why friendships with younger people sometimes happen. Sometimes adults form friendships with younger people because they feel comfortable. Not because of anything wrong, but because it's easy and familiar. When someone grows up isolated or homeschooled, they miss out on learning how to connect with people their own age. So later, they may feel more at ease around younger energy. It's less pressure, less judgment, and more admiration. It's not about age, it's about emotional alignment. One person offers safety, the other offers admiration. The younger person looks up to them, which feels validating. Younger friends can feel safe, they don't challenge you as much, and they remind you of who you used to be. But over time, the balance shifts, and that's when things can get complicated, even without bad intentions. Here are the effects of isolation. When you spend your childhood cut off from the world, your body grows, but your emotions stay behind. You don't get to practice relationships or social skills like everyone else. You don't learn cause and effect in real time. So as an adult, you can be 20 years old physically, but emotionally still 16. That's what isolation does. It freezes certain parts of your development. You mature creatively or intellectually, but socially and emotionally, you're still catching up. That's why he often feels like both a man and a boy at once. One side is grown and the other still trying to learn what normal feels like. Gaming. Before he was an artist, he wanted to be a professional gamer. That world was his first real freedom. A space with rules that made sense. Effort equals reward and mistakes can be undone. No guilt, no judgment. Even now, he spends hours gaming, sometimes late into the night. People have seen him online after the news about Miss Rivas broke. That's not coldness, that's escape. When real life gets too heavy, he retreats to the one world he can control. It's how he copes, but it also keeps him stuck. At an age when most people are building independence, he's still finding comfort in the same escape that raised him. Gaming is both his comfort zone and his cage. Let's talk about his LA nightlife. When he's in Los Angeles, he changes. Nightlife, the lights, the freedom. It feeds the part of him that wants to live without limits. Everything he was told was sinful is right there in front of him, and it's tempting. But deep down, he's still conflicted. You can see it. Part of him wants to indulge while other part hears his mother's voice warning him. That's why he acts goofy in these moments, is his way of hiding the guilt. He makes the chaos look playful so nobody sees the tension underneath. Let's talk about his piercings and the comment from his mom that said it all. After he got them, she asked him to take them out. To most people, that's just a mom's opinion, but in his world, it meant something bigger. Control never really left. Even as a grown man, her words still hold power. That shows how deep the control runs. Not just over what he does, but who he is. That small moment revealed the truth. He may look free, but he's still living under invisible rules. The piercings were rebellion. Her comment was a reminder that he's still her obedient child somewhere inside. Now, when everything fell apart, he didn't speak. He withdrew. That silence wasn't confusion, it was instinct. The same survival skill his mother taught him. When things spiral, you stay quiet. You wait. You let her lead. She's always been the disciplinarian, the calm in his chaos, the one who decides what's right. Even now, that influence hasn't faded. Transferring his properties into her name may have been a smart legal move, but it also revealed something deeper. She's still the one he trusts to take control when he can't. His silence wasn't guilt, it was a return to obedience. The same learned stillness that's guided him since childhood. And here's your reality check. It's easy to forget that he is a full-grown man, 20 years old. The soft voice, shy looks, and boyish style make people see him as younger. But if you watch his body language, his awareness, his choices, that's not a kid. He knows what he's doing. He performs innocence on purpose. It keeps people gentle with him, and it lets him stay in control of how he is perceived. He's not trapped in adolescence, he's using it. Every contradiction makes sense when you look at the bigger picture. He's calm and chaotic, guilty and free, soft and sharp. He's constantly trying to merge the boy who was raised in silence with the man who now lives in noise. That's why his art feels heavy. It's not random, it's therapy in public. Why can't people look away? People connect with him because he feels real. He doesn't act perfect, he doesn't hide the cracks. Fans can sense the story underneath his calm, the tension between guilt and freedom, between the child he was and the man he is becoming. That's what makes him magnetic. He's not trying to be mysterious, he just is. Here's my final reflection. It's not about guilt, it's about illusion. He built a world where innocence looks safe and sin looks beautiful. But when you strip away the mascara, the softness, and the story, is he still that innocent boy that we think we know? Or just a man who learned how to look like one? Thank you so much for watching. I really hope that you enjoyed this video. I know it is a bit lengthy, but I wanted to give people an inside look on things that I noticed while I was looking at his footage. There's a lot to his story, and I hope that I explained it well to you guys. Thank you so much for watching, and I hope you have a great rest of your day.